won Game 1 when I was in attendance, so being that I don't have the means to go to North Carolina and see through a Rangers win tonight, I gotta try and do what I can to recreate the same conditions we had the other day on Game 2 to win. Ideally, Game 2 will not go as Game 2 will not be as stressful as Game 3 will not be as stressful as Game 2. I thought it was definitely the best Carolina had looked. Being that it was an overtime game, being that the Rangers played well enough that they were able to keep it close at 5-on-5, and everybody who knows that's kind of the Rangers' secret sauce, that they're a three-prong, and that's the big difference between this Rangers team and Rangers teams in years past is the fact that they're closer at 5-on-5. They're probably never going to be a dominant possession team, but their skill sets don't require them to be. The fact they are so high-end, not off to a good start here.
He just stole one away from his opponent. What a save! Tremendous intensity here in the offensive zone.
Oh, that's got to get in deep.
Carolina's got it in the neutral zone. And a solid effort by the penalty killers as we are back to even strength.
Well, everyone is up. The coach knows exactly what the PK unit had to do, and they got out there, they were responsible, and they took care of business.
Trocheck's crossed the line and is on the attack now. Quick pass to Wheeler. Saved by Anderson.
Oh, Trocheck, you got it.
Too many bodies in the way.
But speaking about Game 2, speaking about Game 2 and the Rangers in general, the Rangers' ability to keep it close at 5-on-5 is going to open a lot of doors. Frankly, it's been the biggest barrier and why I wasn't as strong of a believer in them 2 years ago or last year as I am this year. It's not that they're suddenly the Hurricanes or the Daryl Sutter Kings, or even, I would say the late 2010s Mike Sullivan Penguins, where they're a dominant analytics team. The Rangers' quality of chances is decent enough. They are very selective because they're able to pass the puck to dangerous areas. And because of that, they're never going to grade out particularly well, which is, I think, the root of a lot of people's frustrations. I think there are a lot of Ranger fans who feel this Rangers team is different than the ones of years past, that you hear Elliot Friedman and Jeff Merrick talking about, well, have the Hurricanes outplayed the Rangers even though they're down in the series, and Ranger fans get defensive. That's something I've noticed the Rangers do a lot this year, and it's not news that Laviolette likes to have his defenseman involved in the offensive zone, but having the defenseman actively engaged in the rush or operating overlapping like soccer fullbacks, so these are never me and my friends go to a game. It's the reason whenever I go to a Ranger game with my one friend who has season tickets, we're both soccer guys, so we're always yelling overlap whenever you see Trouba or Gustafsson past the forward that's in front of them, and then the forward covering the point. Because it's a soccer tactic. You want to get the numbers advantage however you can, and to get that numbers advantage, you're probably going to have to make a concession somewhere. Typically it's defensively, because chance creation is more important than chance prevention. So, in that sense,
Carolina's got the puck in the defensive
you got to get there. I think that was that easy?
got it along the wing.
Nice play.
Great
It's
hits
Kako.
up play with the stick by Gustafsson.
Break it down. Oh, you got to get there, Doc.
Slides the puck ahead to Schneider.
Escape Kako.
Kako's moving it ahead.
We got it. All right,
Here
Hedel.
they come on the attack.
Hedel? Let's go. If we can get Hedel back in the cut, man, I don't think it's going to happen just yet. I think the Rangers are going to make a point of, if he comes back, that they're going to do their best to temper expectations for him. I think there's a reason he's been practicing for the better part of 3 weeks. The conditioning's on. I think we really overlooked the bar from being a professional athlete to being in shape to being in game shape. There's a reason we play preseason games. There's a reason training camp and the preseason exists. It's because guys need time to ramp up. Because the grind of an NHL game and then an entire NHL season, the grind of both of those, the grind of individual games, and then over the course of an entire season, it's really taxing. And then you think about the pace that the Hurricanes have played this series at so far. And really quickly, you can understand why the Rangers are slow playing his reintegration into the lineup. If he's even actually available right now. That's another thing. I have talked about this quite a bit. I don't know if Hedo's actually going to be a candidate to get in games. He very well could be there in a ancillary morale vibes capacity, where just him being around the team, it's good for the energy, that guys are happy he's around, that it gives them a little bit extra juice, and you get Cooley back to work. Nice. If Rempe makes a pass like that tonight, he can stay in the lineup with
opponents down on their heels are deflated. They got to find a way to continue with the pressure.
God, this game is so bad. I know I'm playing the computer. Yeah, it's the highest difficulty, but the defenses are not good. Like the games I've played over the last few days are the bulk of my experience with this game, because I only installed it when I got on Game Pass a few weeks ago. And frankly, I just wanted to talk about the Rangers, and I felt this was better than me like just pulling up random charts and spreadsheets on a regular stream like I did for the trade deadline, because frankly, this is a better way to waste time before going to the gym. I've already recorded 2 podcasts today. Did my Locked On Power Rankings with Hunter Hodes. I got to actually tweak my graphic, but I have the Rangers first in my power rankings of the 8 teams remaining, being up 2-0 in their series, showing that they can hang with Carolina at 5-on-5. I think that's more than enough to be first. I have Carolina second. Not Carolina, excuse me, Colorado. I was about to say I mixed up my C words, and then realized that didn't sound politically correct. So that might have to be a quote graphic I make just for the just for the joke, but
yeah, he made an incredible one, didn't he?
But I have the Rangers first. I have Colorado second. When Carolina's buzzing, that team is terrifying. Like just that Colorado defense when they are buzzing is terrifying. When Colorado is going full speed, and they're getting goals from guys down the line. Like you heard me make fun of Miles Wood yesterday on the stream. The guy, who used to join in cryptocurrency Twitter Spaces while he was a healthy scratch for the Devils. Yeah, he can score overtime game winners too. Excited? Yeah. All right. Decent first period. If you leave a road playoff game 2-1, if you leave a road playoff game 2-1 in the first, that's a pretty good feeling. I'm looking forward to seeing how Carolina responds. I know that might sound weird coming from a Rangers fan, but these playoff series are so largely dictated by energy and intensity as opposed to actual skill and talent. Like, don't get me wrong, skill and talent matter, but the differentiation point between a lot of these teams in these close games is which team can control the game. And typically, the team that controls the game is the one that's playing with more speed and more intensity. You can control a game, slowing it down, turning it into a rock fight. You heard me talk about it yesterday in regards to the Canucks and the Oilers, that the Canucks would probably want to slow the Oilers down. And the Canucks did a good job of that defensively. I mean, any game you hold Connor McDavid to 1 scoring chance and 0 shots on goal, you want to highlight that tape. You want to make a point of emphasizing what worked there. But energy and momentum matter a lot in these games. You think about how the Panthers responded to losing Game 1 against the Bruins. You heard me say on the pod yesterday, on the stream here yesterday, that I felt the Panthers were definitely going to win because they were going to come out and play a lot better defensively, because of how poorly defensively they had played in Game 1. And for a lot of that game, they did play good defense, and then the offense exploded, and then it got out of hand, and guys got ejected, and Matthew Tkachuk got pasta for some reason. It's funny, it's exciting. That series in particular has a twinge of nastiness to it that I don't think the rest do. The Rangers in Carolina, it might get there if the Rangers play well. That was really bad. I need to turn off auto backskate. If I'm playing it properly, good counter, good counter. Rangers rush defense. Issue in the regular season, issue in the EA Sports NHL. But if you're just joining in, I hope you are getting closer to your Friday. I hope the Rangers can send us all into our Friday with good vibes. The Rangers go up 3-0 in a series. People are going to start talking reckless, like this is the best Rangers team ever. That this is the best. That the Rangers are going to go 16-0. I know I've seen people jokingly say, like I've seen the Friday Beers hockey account tweet the 16-0 graphic. But, oh, Vinny Meatballs. Beautiful. Beautiful. Shout out Vinny Meatballs, man. I gotta finish the video I'm working on about Trocheck's season this year. But he's had such a remarkable season that I didn't see coming. And a lot of it is just the benefit of the team as a whole being played. The team as a whole being better. But he's really found a nice spot for himself. I think the tinkering they've done to the power play from last year to this year, nice deflection. The adjustments the Rangers power play have made this year. Trocheck is not just standing in the middle of the two guys on the circles, trying to receive a cross-seam pass. He's closer to the net, and he's in a better position to crash if there's a scoring chance for a rebound. I think that's really given the Rangers an advantage. And a lot of people, me included, would not characterize the Rangers as an overly physical or imposing team. But if they have Kreider and Trocheck crashing the net on power plays where it's already a numbers advantage, and you have those two physically imposing strong guys crashing the net, I think, why did that guy go off there? He was in the position to receive the clear pass. But I think the Rangers, that was really bad. Key, I need you to skate. Thank you. Fully fast as that
That's extremely frustrating when you do the work to get in on a breakaway and then you get nothing in return, a missed opportunity.
But the Rangers unlocking that component where they really are playing physically imposing around the net flood. I mean, the Trocheck overtime game winner in Game 2, that's Kreider and Zibanejad, Kreider and Trocheck crashing down. And it's those two against Brent Burns. And all due respect to Brent Burns, really good NHL career, really solid pro, somebody whose game I've long admired. He's not a defensive stalwart. We all know he gets paid for his offense. We all know he's on the Hurricanes because they wanted him to be their Dougie Hamilton replacement. But when you make him play defense, when you make Tony DeAngelo play defense, that is an advantage for you. And the Rangers have done a reasonable enough job of targeting Burns and DeAngelo defensively, forcing those guys. Play nice. Forcing those guys to play defense is how you beat them. Oh, there we go. Loft. Word to J. Cole, GOMD. Shout out Lafreniere, man. Great game the other night. Really excited that he has put it together. I have long been a Lafreniere guy. I have the Rimouski Oceanic Lafreniere jersey I bought the day the Rangers won the lottery. Had more than one person text me, well, what happens if they trade the pick? And I said, well, I'm going to sell the jersey before that would happen and get some of my money back. But I can't overstate how funny it is as a Rangers fan who knows what's going on. To see the national media like Mark Messier and PK Subban talk about how, well, the Rangers were patient with him, the Rangers were patient with him. The last coach healthy bombed him for no reason more than once. The last coach consistently prioritized, I don't want to say scrubs, but we were subjected to Barclay Goodrow, Jimmy Vesey, Dryden Hunt, genuinely unserious top six. That was bad. That needs to be a save for Sturgeon on the initial point. But we saw the Rangers playing third and fourth liners with Panarin and Trocheck, Panarin and Strome over the last few years because the team couldn't afford it. If Lafreniere made a defensive mistake, they couldn't afford it. And it was the most asinine thing because you know it wasn't about defense. Because if it was about defense, they wouldn't be playing Panarin with a defensively deficient center. And don't get me wrong, Trocheck is good at hitting people. He's decent positionally, and he wins face-off. But go look at the underlying numbers. He has never been as bad defensively as he was this season, because it doesn't matter if you're bad defensively if you still create more offense. And that's the trade-off that it took two coaches to figure out. Really bad for the I need to be better there. It took three coaches during Panarin's tenure for them to realize it's okay if they're bad defensively as long as they create offense. And the Rangers tripling down on offense on that line and giving them Lafreniere, Trocheck, Panarin, it's nothing short of, it's both exciting and frustrating. Because the Rangers could have did that last year. Instead of trading for one-hip Patrick Kane, we could have had Lafreniere playing on that line the entire season. But Gerard Gallant, who swore he knew better than everybody else, well, Lafreniere's defense, he's not good enough, as if Panarin and Trocheck were playing world-class defense. It was the most asinine thing in the world, but I'm glad to say I've largely been vindicated on a lot of my critiques of Gerard Gallant in terms of his management of both Kakko and Lafreniere, of his power play usage, and the defensive deployment. God bless. I know Schneider and Miller haven't been outstanding. They've had a hard time breaking out of the zone and getting from defense to offense in this series against Carolina. But to have the wherewithal to at least accept Trouba's not good, that's important. And I know there will be somebody who clicks into this stream and says, well, if Trouba wasn't good, how is he the captain? If Trouba wasn't good, why is he getting all this money? Trouba is largely getting paid because of his reputation, and he is captain fully based on his reputation. If the Rangers lost Game 2 as opposed to winning that game, him being entirely horizontal like Wile E. Coyote in a cartoon, going neck first into the board, would have been plastered everywhere as a joke about how bad of a hockey player he is. But because the Rangers won, it's funny, it's amusing. You know, Andrew and I talked about it on Monday, the idea of Zibanejad passing that breakaway he had for the hat trick in Game 1, where he was wide open on net and he forced a pass, even though Freddie Anderson was really out of position because he was playing for the pass as opposed to the shot. If the Rangers don't go on and win Game 1, that's not funny. Same thing with Trouba and going horizontal and neck first into the boards. If he does that and they lose that game, it's not funny because of the penalties he took, the turnover he had that led directly to the one Carolina goal because he tried to force a backhand saucer pass 30 feet through the neutral zone. But the Rangers won, so it's very funny.
He puts on a clinic here in distribution and it winds up as a goal.
The rush defense in this game is god-awful. I know it's a video game, and I know EA Sports largely doesn't care about the quality of the game because the game is sold based on microtransactions now as opposed to the actual title release itself. I mean, I haven't bought this game at full price, I think, since I was in college. I want to say maybe NHL 18 or 19 was the last time I bought this game at full price. I've definitely bought it when it was on sale over the last few years for like $20 around Christmas time. But this game is not worth $7. It is largely cheese. It is largely inefficient. It is unreflective of actual hockey. Like, yeah, rush chances are more dangerous because the goalie's typically out of position. Like, that was a good look. I probably should have just driven the net with Trocheck and did the move I did with Crowder this game stinks, in all honesty. That was almost certainly offsides. But come on, Key. Knock him off the puck. Oh, that's a terrible turnover.
Oh, a great heads-up play to force the turnover by Kotkaniemi. The Rangers will play it from the defensive zone. And they'll use that dumping to change up the defense. Moves it to Kotkaniemi.
But we are going to run Stars ads after this. I'll play as the Stars again. Actually, you know what? No. I got to change up the... What's more important? Me changing up the energy for the Stars so they win their game, or risking changing the energy for the Rangers in Carolina? I think I have to play as the Stars again, just in case it matters more that I don't change up the energy on the Rangers. I think the Stars are better than the Rangers. I think the Stars don't need the hockey voodoo of me playing with them on screen and changing. So
that's a great save as
So far, one dynamic I have found interesting is in the first round of the playoffs, the favorite won all 8 seeds. First time that's happened in a while. I forget when the last time. I want to say the last time it happened was like 2007 or 8, something like that, if I remember that article I read in The Athletic correctly. So far, though, every game in round 2, the underdog had one. I don't know if that was true of Boston, Florida last night. I would have to go and look at the odds. The article I read might have been written before that game was played, so the numbers might not bear. That might not be the only example where it didn't happen. But I know I'm pretty sure the Oilers were underdogs in their game. Were favorites in their game against the Canucks, and the Canucks won. The Rangers have been slight underdogs in both games and for their overall series against Carolina. And because of that, I do think there's something to the energy. I do think that matters. But the Rangers cannot take this for granted. They have been in this position before, as many a Ranger fan has pointed out. They were up 2-0 against the Devils. They were up 2-0 against Tampa Bay. And they got a little too comfortable. They got out to leads in Game 3 and then fumbled it. Game 3 against the Devils last year was the overtime game, if you remember correctly, that the Devils won. Yeah, if Rempe does that tonight, he can stay. Rempe scores a breakaway with goes far down. God, this game is terrible. Rempe couldn't do that in real life if he tried, and this video game made that look easy for him.
Exactly what they want to do, and some guys take what's given, but what a shot that is. He had no chance.
Carolina's got possession here in the neutral zone. Takes the puck.
Oop. One thing that's interesting, Brindamore going to Peter Kochetkov, who hasn't played in like a month. I think it's really, I don't want to say it's bold, because a lot of coaches do this. You saw Vegas do this in their first round series, where they went from Aiden Hill to Logan Thompson back to Aiden Hill. You saw the Leafs do this, going from Samsonov to Woll. You saw the Bruins doing this, where they started Olmark and then they went to Swayman and they stuck with Swayman. You saw the Islanders do this, where they started Varlamov the first 2. They were down 2-0. They started Sorokin in Game 3, and he didn't play well in Game 3, and they got him out of there midway through the second. I think the coach is trying to find a way to spark the lineup, and the best case, you got extra juice in your guys for the game. Because you changed the goalie, you put a little more onus on the skaters. Like, hey, you can't blame Freddie Anderson this time. And I was having a conversation with somebody earlier today, both with Hunter on the Power Ranking show and with someone on Twitter in the DMs. Yeah, if Gaudreau and Rempe score goals tonight, Carolina doesn't have a chance. I know I scored 2 goals with Gaudreau in the game I played before the game.
No one likes it in this building, that's for sure. I mean,
coaches change the goalie in a series where they're down to get a score, because it's easier to do that than to reconfigure lines and pairs that have probably been successful for large stretches. And I was talking about, I lost my train of thought before I scored the goal, but I don't think Freddie Anderson has been the problem for the Hurricanes. I think he's played well enough. I think he's definitely fought it at times. I think the one goal he probably wants back for the series is the Panarin goal in Game 1. He outright flubbed that one. That's when he's got to have.
Got the puck inside the offensive zone. Dismiss that chance. New York's looking to break out.
The angle. I am curious. Oh, thank you. I appreciate whichever Hurricanes defenseman that was that bad. Oh, that was Natchez. I'll take Mark. Or was that Pesci? It was Natchez, yeah. I would like to see the Rangers do a good job early of getting some shots on Peter. I always forget how to say his name. There's a specific pronunciation of Peter where it's a little more, it sounds a little more natural than it does the way I say it, where I would say Peter Kochetkov. And I will look that up at some point and make sure I get that right before the next time I stream Shell. But I do think the Rangers need to do a good job of getting some heat on him early, of making him make some saves. I think it's something the Oilers struggled with last night against Arthur Sheelovs, where they just didn't put enough pressure on him and make him make saves. Aaron, yeah, this game is bad. And I'm not talking about like the individual game. I'm saying like the franchise. out of this game. New Sports hasn't put out a good game.
Yeah, they've had the puck on their stick for a majority
an easy
of
goal
this
to
game.
convert.
Coaching staff is going to be impressed. Hey, maybe they'll get the day off tomorrow.
Sends it deep inside the offensive zone. Now a quick pass to Natchez. Knocked away with the stick by Gustafson.
But yeah, we scored again. I saw the stream cut out, but I haven't looked over at the software because trying to win the game, trying to will the Rangers to a 10-3 win in real life. And no, I'm not playing on rookie. Here, I will show you right now. I think I can show you this. Hang on. Settings. I think it's in here. Yeah, we're playing on the highest difficulty, and we're smoking the Canes. So maybe it's time for me to go on to ranked online, because beating up on the computer, while fun, it's not probably entertaining for you, even though you're probably watching this more to listen to some hockey conversation as opposed to watching the game. Because the game, as I've said, the game itself is bad. The Rangers got to pepper Kochetkov early in this game. They got to make him make some saves, and that guy's being held offsides behind the play. The Rangers have got to get some heat on Kochetkov early. They've got to make him make some saves. And then, you know, as the game goes along, match the energy. Tonight's not quite a kitchen sink game if you're Carolina, where you're going to have to do everything in your power to win the game, but it's pretty close, you know. The 3-0 deficit is not insurmountable, but it's pretty damn close. I don't think any team is going to have an easy time trying to beat the Rangers 3 out of 4 times if it came to that. So Carolina is going to be close to maximum effort. They're going to have their crowd going. I know there'll be a lot of Ranger fans there. Ranger fans travel well. Raleigh's not that far from New York, and there are New York transplants everywhere because New York is so expensive. It's not the easiest place to afford to live, so New Yorkers do relocate, and there's a good chunk of them down in North Carolina. I imagine there will be a healthy amount of blue, despite the Hurricanes' best efforts to not allow tickets to be sold to people out of that couple tri-state area. I forget what states exactly were in that, but the Hurricanes did try. I wish them well. I understand why teams do it. I think it's corny. Can we do the North Stars jersey? Yes, we can. All right. This is going to win the game for the Stars tonight. We're going to get them in the North Star jerseys in the shell, and that's going to happen. Switching up gears, I've talked about the Rangers Canes while that game was going on. We'll talk about Avs Stars. I am looking forward to watching the game, and hopefully, the Ranger game ends early enough that I can actually watch the Stars and the Avs. As much as I was excited to watch that game, I had it on while the Rangers were playing the Canes in overtime and then double overtime, but I definitely was not able to really focus on Stars Avs until the Ranger game was over. And then at that point, I was kind of like vibrating how excited I was that the Rangers won in double overtime. So I probably I didn't retain as much of that game as I would like to. I mean, I went back and watched the highlights, and the highlights are great, but in hockey, watching the highlights is like 15% of the picture. You can watch the highlights, you can look up the advanced statistics, and that can give you like 30 to 40% of the game. But so much of these playoff games is energy. Oh, that's a really bad penalty. I can't see the computer there. I never play as the forwards coming back in the neutral zone for that exact reason, because all you're going to do is take a hold or a hook, because you're reaching from behind. It is not a good place to be. It was a really bad mistake Truba made on Aho there when he took that triple. But I'm looking forward to Stars Avs. I think the Stars have shown more than enough resilience that a 1-0 deficit in their series is not insurmountable. Obviously not. If you can come back from 2-0 against Vegas, you can definitely come back from 1-0 against Colorado. I think Dallas, if they get out to a lead again, is going to be a little more conscientious of continuing to put pressure and trying to maintain zone time and wear Colorado down. And Makar was really good in Game 1. But, I forgot the penalty kill because the computer took that penalty, and there's just so much space. Can we get Lindell to Ben short-handed? No, Jamie Benn did not go down.
Colorado's got a hold of the puck now.
I want to see how Dallas responds,
The Avs taken across the blue line.
that's a tough Game 1 loss. And, oh my goodness,
He comes up with a stop. Another stop by the
that is a really tough way to lose a game when you're up that by 3 and you lose in overtime because you didn't put the game away. And I'll apply the same logic to the Oilers and the Canucks. I just recorded Lockdown Oilers before I came on to stream this, to stream Shell. That's why my voice is probably a little bit hoarse, and I've been more liberal with my water allocation on stream today than I have the previous 2 days. But blowing multi-goal leads in the playoffs, that's a really quick way to shorten your lifespan, because that's the type of game that'll have you staring at the ceiling till like 3 or 4 in the morning. Can we get Ben? Johnston to Ben. Wyatt Johnston has been nothing short of incredible in these playoffs. I really felt he had a strong argument for the Calder Trophy last year. He's genuinely one of the most exciting players in the entire league. If you haven't gotten a chance to get familiar with his game, with him, with Hintz, with Jason Robertson, with Miro Heiskanen, this Stars team is genuinely a treat to watch. They play such fundamentally sound and strong hockey. Their only real flaw to me is the fact they still ice Ryan Suter, who's just not a good player anymore, and he hasn't been in a few years. It was crazy that Jim Nill, who is a good general manager, I would argue Jim Nill might be the best general manager in the entire NHL. I find it crazy they gave Ryan Suter a multi-year deal a couple days after the Wild bought him out. But and then making Suter your first pair defenseman on the left and forcing your best defenseman in Heiskanen to play on his offhand, insanity. But they've gotten really good production from Thomas Harley this season. Thomas Harley did not have a great first round against the Golden Knights, but he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's not as he's not big and physical the way Vegas is. So I think Colorado, though they are imposing and they do have physical elements to their game, you know, everyone knows McKinnon, Miles Wood, Ross Colton, Valerie Nichushkin. They have physical players. I do think Thomas Harley will have a little bit more room, and I think that'll help him. Can he get this pass? Oh my goodness, what a pass. Speaking of Mason Marchment, who's on the puck right now, I did see he's expected to return tonight for the Stars for the first time in a few games. That's a nice addition for them. Deepens their lineup. I think there's a real argument the Stars have the best forward group of any team in the playoffs. I know their top-end talent, Robertson, Hintz, Heiskanen, it's not on the same tier as McKinnon, McCall, Rantanen. But once you get past that first line, you still got Ben, you got Johnston, you got Marchment, you got Logan Stankoven, you got Ty D'Angelo, you got Duchesne, Sagan. They have a lot of depth that enables them to really wear teams down over the course of the game. And depth matters in the playoffs, man. You look at the games yesterday. Dakota Joshua and Elias Lindholm had a really big impact on their game. Connor Garland had a goal in that game. Nikita Zadorov had a goal in that game. Oh, that has no business going. That goal has absolutely no business going. I think Georgiev's had a rough playoff, but he's got a reaching up
in today's game, so many
talking a lot and talking in my broadcast voice. Little more tired than my normal.
Looking to get his arms up quick enough, but he can't. The shooter just whistles one up high.
The Stars have had multiple scoring opportunities here in this first and could easily have a much bigger lead. Gets the puck over to Colton.
Ooh, drew a penalty too. Good stuff, boys. Good stuff. Got our feet moving. Got a little bit of heat on them now.
If you're short-handed, they're going to have to be opportunistic, find a way to kill it off, and then reset the momentum.
Ooh, that was almost it. I shouldn't have. Ooh, Robertson. Oh. Should have been more patient there.
The coach wants that puck out, and it's on your stick. You got to make sure that it goes 200 feet down the ice.
Skate.
Tries to get this man advantage going from their own end now.
That is not where I was passing that puck in the slightest. I don't know why Pavelski and Robertson went to the exact same spot to the left of the net, but that's Chell. Robertson? Oh, no, we can't get around Taves. That's a good poke.
Gets it out of his own
end. Ooh, nice. Got picked back. I did see Drouin practicing for Colorado today. Obviously, Chell not updated rosters. Wonder if he draws back in, what that does for their lineup. Ooh, JD Ben, why would you not? Oh, no, that's Hintz. But still, why would you not just drive the net? You had nobody in front of you. Damn, you've had a really rough power play here. Ooh, backdoor.
Colton's almost
I'm trying to
ready
be too
get back
pretty.
on
I
the
gotta
ice.
just get some pucks on that.
Heiskanen's got it near the point.
Ooh,
Colorado's PK
nice.
scores! The captain comes through!
I was talking about that the other day, actually, with my friend who I went to game 1 with, and we were at game 1 after one of the Ranger goals. I forget which one it was. I think it was the second Zibanejad goal. That I love how our generation of bros in their mid-20s, we all adopted the Tiger Woods fist pump whenever good things happen to our sports teams. Makes me happy. It's one of the few communal things we all have in common, even if we all dislike each other's teams and have disagreements about like pretty much everything. I do like how bros all do the Tiger Woods fist pump job. It's one of the few communal social cues we still have. Oh, Radek Foxa to Dellandrea? Craig Smith. One of the better value contracts of the last era of the NHL. He had a really solid career in Boston. Really good career in Nashville. Still hanging around. I don't know if he dressed for the Stars the other day, in all honesty. I don't think he's dressed for the Stars in a while, but...
on a point-blank shot here, James. I love the way he's aggressive, he's competitive,
Do we have the back door? I'm being too fancy. I just got to drive the net. You saw, if you were watching the first game, we just put Freddie Anderson in hell. We dropped, I think, 11 with the Rangers on Carolina. Ooh, that's a goal. Nice, Jake. Oh, my goodness. That was terrible. I was greedy. I tried to move the puck, and I got burned. Oh, well.
Here in the later stages of this period,
Arturi Lehkonen. He had 20 cups this year. Lekkonen's a good player. Someone I've long liked. I remember he had a really nice goal. A deflection, if I remember correctly, on a rush against the Rangers in 2017 when he was a member of the Canadiens, where I want to say it was Pacioretty put a saucer pass to him, and Lehkonen just stuck his stick out and he kind of jousted at it and was able to tip it past Lundqvist. But Lehkonen's a player I've liked for a long time. I thought he was a deadline ad for the Rangers that year in 2022 when the Avs eventually went on to win the Stanley Cup. Frankly, I liked him more than Kopp. I was never that big on the Kopp trade, in all honesty. I didn't think he was going to fit all that well. And he was a solid Ranger. He did a nice job playing on the wing with Strome and Panarin. But I never felt the connection that a lot of Ranger fans felt with him, that they felt with Tyler Mott. Frankly, that they felt with... Oh, that's a bad. That they felt with Frank Petrano. Maybe it's the sports nerd in me that's become a little less attached to individual players, especially guys who I know probably aren't in their long-term plans. Like, sure, I'd kill for Adam Fox right now if he asked me to kill someone, I would do it. No questions asked. If Igor asked me to kill someone, I would do it. No questions asked. But beyond that, that's where it starts to, maybe not. But... never felt a lot of connection to those guys. I like Lehkonen's game a lot. You need those puck retrievers. I found it interesting that the Rangers haven't really found the right recipe for that type of player. I think Will Cooley is that guy. I don't know if Will Cooley's ever going to play on a first line on a Stanley Cup contending team, but I think he can be a second liner on a Stanley Cup contending team. I think he can be Ross Colton. I think that's not a crazy career trajectory for him, where if he plays power play, he could record 40, 50 points in a season. That's not insane. But, not to make this about the Rangers. I don't just want to talk about the Rangers. I mostly want to talk about the Rangers. When you're up 2-0 in a playoff series and you're beating a team that does give you concerns relatively convincingly, it matters. And, I should stop doing the blue.
Sometimes players get into those scoring areas, they try and get on.
Oh, that's terrible.
That's a result right there.
That's the one thing I would like Chell to put in. I need the SWAT animation to be better, the chop, when you whack a loose puck, because that's what you're supposed to do in that position as a defenseman when the puck squirts out in front, is chop at it. But being that mechanic in this game just basically never works. It's on the goal line, my goodness. Being that mechanic never works, I don't bother, and I right trigger pass, which he probably shouldn't, because he's going to do things like passing it right to the middle of another team.
Picked up along the wall by Dadonov. The Stars will play it against the boards.
God damn it,
oh, and a misfire as that goes right out of the zone. Picked up along the boards by Hakanpää. And now he passes it to Hartley. And here's the pass to Sagan.
Oh, nice forecheck, Sagan.
Control of the puck. And now he moves it quickly to McKinnon. Through the open ice, they're picking
the
up
Rangers
steam.
should use D-to-D more, especially Trudeau does. D-to-D is your best friend if you're in your own zone. If you got the lane, oh, that was so offside. Nice play, Hawkins.
Oh, he got paddled by Ottinger.
Well, the shooter's in a coveted spot.
Oh, that was a terrible decision. I got way too greedy there.
And he makes an incredible save
Way
by
too
getting square
greedy.
to the puck.
You can tell I'm starting to lock in on this game because I'm not playing that well. So that's why I'm more commentating the game and like basically narrating my stream of consciousness as opposed to talking about Stars Avs. But doing it. You play to win the game. Word to Herm Edwards. But I'm very excited to watch Stars Avs tonight. I really hope the Ranger game ends promptly so I can watch Stars Avs in its entirety with some attention.
The Stars are clinging to a 2-1 lead.
In other news, the Leafs fired Sheldon Keefe today. I felt they didn't really have a choice. I think this buys the organization time, both Treliving and Shanahan. Whether or not Shanahan stays on as president of hockey ops, I don't know. Frankly, I haven't heard a lot of conjecture about that, beyond like fan speculation about Shanahan maybe leaving. But I do think the Leafs had to reset. They have to remodel their roster because I don't think they could convince their fan base. And that's the thing, and I talked about this a lot in regards to the Flames when I was doing Lockdown Flames every day before I got tagged in to help cover the Oilers. Rebuilding your team, retooling your team, that's a political decision as much as it is a hockey decision. You need to be able to convince your owner, your president, your fan base that this is the right path. To make the team worse will help them in the long run. Because that's what you're doing. Any team that's going to take Mitch Marner out of its team is not going to be as good. Mitch Marner is one of the 20-25 best hockey players in the entire world. He didn't play like it against the Bruins, but I have no qualms about this. He's one of the 25 most talented hockey players in the world.
Midway mark of this period. Dallas is in the
I think going into the regular season of this past year, I had him ranked as the 4th best player in the entire league, only behind McKinnon, Matthews, and McDavid. I'm pretty sure I had McDavid 1, McKinnon 2, Matthews 3, and Mitch Marner 4.
How did he stop that one?
They're going to trade Marner more likely than not. Maybe it's Tavares. Maybe it's Tavares. I don't know what team is going to want to take a 30-something-year-old. Even if the Leafs retain on him and they get that number down to something a little more palatable. John Tavares is probably a second-line center on a Stanley Cup contender, and he's going to need good wingers to help him manufacture offense because he's not a play driver anymore. He's not as dynamic of a skater, so he can't create zone entries. He's not as crisp on loose pucks, so he's not as effective forechecking and maintaining possession. So that means you're going to have to recalibrate how you use it.
Center's gliding up to the face-off dots here.
Maybe the Leafs find a way to justify keeping their core four and Morgan Riley. I don't think it'll happen.
Colton's won the draw.
I jokingly said to Hunter on Lockdown Power Rankings, it's going to be very funny when the Leafs trade Mitch Marner to the Minnesota Wild for Matt Boldy and Jared Spurgeon, because Brad Treliving is going to try and redo the Matthew Tkachuk trade in 2024 and get a defenseman and a forward. And I like Matt Boldy's game a lot. I think Matt Boldy can be a perennial 35-40 goal guy. He's got Mitch Marner. And I don't even know if Jared Spurgeon played for the Wild this year. I feel like he played maybe 10 games when he was hurt. But the Leafs are going to remodel their roster. It's going to be weird. I think that's a team that is both in its own head and just frankly doesn't have the right sauce. I like some of the individual guys they've picked up over the last few years in their bottom six. TJ Brody at the time, and I know TJ Brody's a defenseman. Oh my goodness, Jake Allen is a beautiful man. I know TJ Brody, defenseman, not a forward. So the bottom six comment probably not a good precursor to bringing him up. But I liked his addition. I thought Bertuzzi did a nice enough job. I don't like Max Domi the person, but I think Max Domi the hockey player is fine. I think he's a reasonably solid middle six forward with a little bit of pain in the ass to his game. Sagan back there.
grabbed by Sagan.
Let's go. Thomas Harley, really underrated player. I shouldn't say underrated. I should say developing. If you didn't know who he was coming into the season, that'd be fair. Only hockey nerds like me, stats people were aware because he so clearly was going to be a guy. He took the jump this year. I want to say he was like 7th or 8th in goals by defensemen.
The second goal, the timing of this goal, Cheryl, absolutely huge.
It's critical, isn't it? I mean, a 1-goal game now becomes a 2-goal game. So you got a little bit of a buffer there. But now it's all about sending a message off of the faceoff, getting onto the puck quickly, and not allowing your opponent to get back in.
Duchesne's picking up steam.
Nah,
Dallas has the puck in the corner.
Cheese? See, that short side cheese was great in like 15 and 16. I used to be a real Chell degenerate. Chell used to be my most played game. The one Bergeron's on the cover, like 15. I want to say like 1,200, 1,400 games played in Ultimate Team that year because I was genuinely really good at Chell. And it was fun, it was rewarding, it was still grindable where you could get really good cards. Like, I remember like a 99 Patrick Sharp. That's how old that game is. A Stanley Cup playoff overall. Maybe it was Duncan. There was someone on the Blackhawks team. And that funded basically like 3 whole teams worth of players. Like, that's when they first really started integrating the legends where like I remember I scored some crazy goals with Pavel Bure because he was so fast. I want to say Brian Leach was really good in that game. Sports video games are weird in that you can have really good attributes, but because of the mechanics or the physics of the game, they might not be effective. Like I was talking with my friends who play FIFA still. Holland, who's one of the best players in the world, is just genuinely awful in FIFA. He's left-footed, his weak foot's not great, he's a little too big and slow, he's not as fast as you would like, and he doesn't translate well to the meta within that game. And that's definitely been the case in Pro in years past. I remember there used to be attribute cards where you could give like your player +5 skating or +5 shooting. And then there were really valuable ones that were +5 everything. And you could put up to 3 attribute cards on a player at a time. And people would put like +15s, so 3 of the +5s to everything on guys like Brian Boyle or Paul Gostad, who was on the Predators, who were just really big, and then you give them +15 everything, and they turn into 99 overall wrecking balls with heat-seeking shots. And that used to be the cheese when the game first transitioned over to this engine. That was a lot more size-based than speed-based. So he used to really be able to mess with the game.
Down and one more still to come. Third period action right after we get a clean sheet of ice.
Who couldn't ever be knocked off the puck. But we're moving along. It's 4:30. Got about 2.5 hours till puck drop. I'm looking forward to getting in a good lift, getting home from the gym, and then locking it. You see the setup I'm rocking with right here. Where I've got the microphone right in front of me. I'm looking at my monitor on my Xbox my computer and my second monitor to my left. I've got the TV over there and the TV over there. When the Rangers are on in the playoffs, I am going to be watching with headphones on. I may watch with some of my friends, whether it's on Discord or on Xbox in a party, I don't know. We'll see, depending on who gets on. But I'm going to be locked in. I'm going to be leaning forward in the chair. It's, to quote my friend Dante, who was at Game 2, him and my friend Chris, I want to say Dante said it the other day when I was talking to him about the game. He said to me, Nick, we were in the locked-in position for 4 hours. And I believe him, because I was at Game 1 with him. Oh, my goodness gracious. I was at Game 1 with him, and basically from the first Carolina goal that tied it at 1-1 till the end of the game, I was leaning forward. Playoff hockey is a different beast, man. There's a reason it's easy to get casuals locked in on it. I'm looking forward to the Ranger game Saturday night, which is much more conducive to plans. Watching hockey socially is both fun and bad. There's an element of Steve Dangleness to it when I watch hockey with my friends, where my friends are just genuinely amused watching me watch the Rangers, because I'm just making involuntary noises the entire time, oohing and ahhing and covering my mouth and muttering under my breath and biting my hands, where I'm like Leo in The Wolf of Wall Street, because I'm trying not to swear at the top of my lungs in public and look like a sociopath. But
are loving it. Colorado's got it in their own zone, and he slides it quickly to Lehkonen. Dallas gains a hold of possession. Scooped up along the wall by Hakanpää.
That's gotta get people. I gotta go into the controls menu after this and see, because I always used to dump it in with right bumper, and that's not sending the puck anywhere. It's like the softest pass imaginable, even if I aim it. So we're gonna have to.
Well, this save looks easier than it actually is. I mean, when you have a shooter right in the
slot,
gotta get in, and you know that you gotta find a way to get your glove on it. You gotta be fast, you gotta be quick, and show those
baited him into a power play. That was a football play. Can't do that, Drew.
James helps his team out defensively with great stick checking in the D-zone pass. That's his stick-em-up zone ability, and it can really frustrate attackers.
That's Sandstorm? Did they license Sandstorm for Chell? Good on them for actually putting some money into the music for the first time.
Feeds it up ahead. Dumps it in. The Stars have it against the wall. Down the left wing, they gain the zone.
Can we get around the wall?
Toss to the point, and there's the save. The Stars play the puck from the back of the net. Sends it down low.
Pavelski. I needed Ben to crash the half wall there.
Colorado's been excellent tonight, James. They found ways to work hard on and off
the forwards
of the puck,
do not
and when they're
know.
away from it, they've really done a great job of being in good position to be able to take away lanes and angles, seams, you name it. If it has to translate to something, this is still a close game.
Then you can cycle, but...
Quick shot! Great save from in tight.
Ooh, we got Hintz back door.
Fantastic save by the goaltender, but his team has to do a better job of protecting the middle of the ice. Those high-danger scoring chances eventually go in.
Dallas has possession of it now. We got a penalty coming up here.
Another penalty.
Dallas will play it near the point. The goaltender is quickly off to his bench to get the extra attacker out.
Oh.
There's the whistle, and here's the call. Wagner's getting called for 2 minutes.
That's Tsunami? That is Tsunami. Okay. Chell licensed a bunch of EDM music. Good for them. They actually understand what people want in their arena. I was not locked in for that face-off. I was thinking about other EDM songs.
To the bench here, the coach has to settle them down and work on that confidence.
Duchesne's got the puck.
Oh, that's not where I was trying to send my pass in the sliders. I was trying to get that out to Mills Lundqvist. Oh, good redirect from Shane.
Dallas has held the bulk of the play and had a ton of opportunities. When you keep putting it off the frame, though, you give your opponent some life, and it can switch the momentum. They'll want to execute, but the good part is...
Why is Nils Lundqvist the first guy into the zone? What are we doing here, guys? Why is Wyatt Johnston, who's like 5'11" now? Ooh, hit Sagan. Nice, we're in. Backdoor Duchesne, though.
Goes off a stick.
Oh, I hit right trigger.
Quick pass to Dananov.
Oh my goodness. Georgiev's not making that save.
Georgiev's all over that save. I mean, he's done.
Ooh, nice B redirect. Good stuff.
Well, this is just a great job to get the hands away from the body and deflect that puck into the net as it changes direction. Goaltender doesn't
They
have
have
a
really
chance.
made it easier to redirect the puck. That used to be like a really
James, their opponents
I don't know if that's a good
chasing
thing
the
or a
game
bad thing.
all
I could see
night
people
long. Why?
spamming
Because they
that,
have been
thinking that's like
persistent and relentless on the puck. When
That's the problem with sports games is once people figure out what works, that's all they do,
Just have
and
a look at the
they use it
scoreboard.
because
It'll tell you exactly what this game's look like.
Because you kind of have to make something bad in every
The
game,
Avs get a hold of
unfortunately.
the puck along the boards. They've got the defense outnumbered.
Snow Angel kind of worked for me there.
Love the way the goaltender gets tight to the shooter here. The puck's
Oh my goodness, Jake Ottinger, you friggin' stud. What a save. Oh, Jake Ottinger, you beautiful man. That's what I get for trying to speed this game up and not saving. Ottinger's making it.
Who had the edge? Carlin Bates, standing by with the answer.
Robertson's been buzzing, and he's been rewarded here. His name in the box score proves he's had a stronger night, guys.
Might have to get
Puck
it.
scooped up by Suter. And it's a quick pass to Robertson. He's got a step.
Easy money. That still works. That's been in shell forever. The just straight it up on the back end across the net mouth. That cheese is really good. You would want Georgiev in real life to stick his stick out there and open up. Yeah, you risk opening up your 5-hole if you poke check there, but you can't just let him go top shelf on that. That's not good.
Yeah, I mean, they've been generating offense. They've been strong in their own zone as well, James. They've just been great from start to finish. The coach is going to love this one. It's been a terrific performance. A 200-foot game that's led to this score.
Sutter in front.
Nice. Oh, come on, Ryan Suter, you freaking bozo. Sorry for swearing. Where's the sketch? Sorry for swearing.
Way to continue to attack here now, right?
Ryan Suter activates an anger in me. It's not quite Dan Girardi, Jacob Trouba, but because I'm not a Stars fan, but it's close. It's really close.
The Avalanche have taken possession in their own end.
Nice.
Strong defensive effort. The Stars take it across the line. Quick feed to Robertson. Colorado's got it from behind the net. And he takes the pass. Colorado's got it along the wall.
Nice, Suter. All right, you made 2 good plays on this sequence. I can forgive you putting the puck in your own net because this game is bad. Pavelski? Oh, hold on, too long. I need to look at that half a second.
Goaltender spends so much time doing tracking exercises, and it's utilized right here as he knows where this puck
I
is
should have
coming
waited for
from,
more than
and he makes the save.
Grabbed along the board by Nichushkin. Here he is in close.
Jake.
Stops it with a glove.
Then, D.
Heiskanen's got a hold of the puck behind the net.
You might have Johnston.
Passed up ahead. Moves it to the net.
I gotta stop going for the
The
cross
Stars
pass
get their
there.
second line out there, James. They've been real effective tonight. They've been dominant in the offensive zone. They've been key contributor, and this is really important when you want to get that secondary scoring.
Dallas is having one of those nights that anything that they put on net seems to light the lamp. And they lead it big time here late in this third period. Taken by Taves.
Here I am micromanaging.
With the puck inside the defensive zone.
Up 5-2.
Oh, and the puck clears the zone. They'll be forced to do this one over.
Predictions for tonight.
Over to
I went 1-1 last night picking Florida and the Oilers. I thought the Oilers would play a lot better than the Oilers.
The Stars have the puck in the corner.
I think
I
Carolina's going to win tonight. I think Carolina gets some bounces to go their way. I think the Rangers probably have their first cold power play game. And it's ugly. Carolina wins something like 3-2. And every Ranger fan isn't worried because they played well enough, but Carolina's just kind of... Carolina's annoying. And Carolina, I feel like, has enough talent where all they need is Gensel to do something, Aho, Svechnikov, etc. And they can win an ugly game. Nice. Johnston, I'm going to pick the Stars. I probably shouldn't because I want the Stars to win. But I think the Stars bounce back. I think they're a mentally tough team with a veteran leadership group in Dan and Pavelski and Suter that have really been through the wars. Peter DeBoer, who's been through so many playoff runs with so many different teams. The Devils, the Vegas, the Sharks. He's been through a lot of playoff series with a lot of different teams. I think the Stars come out really well tonight. I think the Stars But that'll do it for this stream. If the Rangers win tonight, I will continue to stream these games during the afternoon. If they lose, we'll recalibrate and we will do something else. Hopefully the Rangers win.